Hello and welcome back to Morning Constitution, the podcast where we explore the entire United States Constitution, one section at a time. I'm your host, Joel Hawksley, and today we're continuing our journey through Article 1 by focusing on Section 3, which establishes the Senate. In this episode, we'll break down the structure, qualifications, powers, and unique role of the Senate. So let's get started. Article 1, Section 3, the Senate. Section 3 of Article 1 begins by establishing the composition and election of the Senate. It reads, "The Senate of the United States shall be composed of two senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof for 6 years, and each senator shall have one vote." This clause sets up a key feature of the Senate: equal representation for each state, regardless of population size. This was a critical element of the Great Compromise, balancing the proportional representation of the House of Representatives by giving each state two senators. The framers ensured that smaller states would have an equal voice in the legislative process. Originally, senators were chosen by state legislatures, but this changed with the 17th Amendment ratified in 1913, which established the direct election of senators by the people. This shift aimed to make the Senate more responsive to the electorate and reduce corruption and undue influence in the selection process. Next, Section 3 addresses the staggering of Senate terms. Immediately after they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the second year of the second class, at the expiration of the 4th year, and of the third class at the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every second year. And if vacancies happen by resignation or otherwise during the recess of the legislature of any state, the executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies. This system ensures continuity within the Senate. With only 1/3 of the body up for election every 2 years, it prevents the entire Senate from being replaced at once, allowing for a stable and experienced legislative body. This staggered term structure helps maintain institutional memory and provide a balance between fresh perspectives and seasoned lawmakers. Section 3 also provides for the temporary appointment of senators in the event of vacancies. This allows state governors to fill vacant Senate seats until a special election can be held or the state legislature convenes to choose a new senator. Next, let's discuss the qualifications for becoming a senator. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen. These qualifications are slightly more stringent than those for the House of Representatives. The higher age requirement reflects the framers' intent for the Senate to be a more deliberative body composed of individuals with greater life experience and stability. The 9-year citizenship requirement ensures that senators have a strong connection and loyalty to the United States, while the residency requirement ensures they are intimately familiar with the needs and interests of their state. Section 3 also outlines the leadership structure of the Senate. The Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. This clause establishes the Vice President as the presiding officer of the Senate. However, the Vice President only votes in the event of a tie, providing a crucial tie-breaking role. This design reflects the framers' intent to limit the influence of the executive branch within the legislative process, while still allowing for executive oversight. The section continues. The Senate shall choose their other officers and also a president pro tempore in the absence of the vice president, or when he shall exercise the office of President of the United States. The president pro tempore, typically the longest serving member of the majority party, presides over the Senate in the vice president's absence. This position is largely ceremonial today, with much of the day-to-day presiding done by junior senators on a rotating basis. Now, Section 3 also details the Senate's unique role in the impeachment process. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. The House of Representatives has the power to impeach federal officials, but the Senate has the sole authority to conduct impeachment trials. This provides a check on the House's power and ensures that impeachment and removal from office require broad consensus. The requirement for a 2/3 majority to convict ensures that removal from office is reserved for the most serious offenses. When the president is tried, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court presides over the trial, ensuring an impartial arbiter. This prevents the vice president, who would have a conflict of interest, from presiding over a trial that could lead to their own elevation to the presidency. The section concludes. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to removal from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, or profit under the United States. But the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. This clause limits the consequences of impeachment to removal from office and possible disqualification from holding future office. However, it does not exempt the individual from facing criminal charges in the regular judicial system. This ensures that impeachment is a political rather than a criminal process aimed at protecting the integrity of public office. So in summary, Article 1, Section 3 establishes the Senate as a key component of the legislative branch. designed to balance the more populous and frequently elected House of Representatives. The Senate's equal representation of states, longer terms, and staggering elections provide stability and a check on rapid shifts in public opinion. The Senate's unique role in confirming executive appointments, ratifying treaties, and conducting impeachment trials highlights its crucial role in the federal government. Understanding the Senate structure and the functions is essential to grasping how our legislative branch operates and maintains a balance of power. As we continue our journey through Article 1, we'll explore the specific powers granted to Congress in the next episode, delving into the legislative authority and the limits placed on it by the Constitution. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Article 1, Section 3. I hope this episode has deepened your understanding of the Senate and its vital role in our government. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. for our next episode, where we'll examine the enumerated powers of Congress as outlined in Section 8. If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the podcast. Your support helps us reach more listeners and continue our journey through the Constitution. You can also follow us on social media for updates and additional content. And if you have any questions, or maybe some topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out. Until next time, I'm Joel Hawksley, and this has been Morning Constitution. Stay informed and stay curious.